Welcome, friends. Today, we're doing another live stream. Marvelous. Now, just before we begin, you will notice that I have advertised a pair of guests. Big guests. That is Audrey Jane and Jura Rose. They are both having technical issues. Absolute nightmare. 10 minutes after schedule, they're both still struggling to get in. The microphones aren't working. Camera's not working. Permissions and all of that sort of palaver. It is technical issues, I'm afraid. But as soon as they can sort it out, I will let them in, and then we can all have a jolly time, you know? So, oh, we've got a guest. It's Jura Rose.
Hey.
Jura Rose. Yeah, buddy.
I'm here. I'm in.
Outrageous. We're live. Don't say anything outrageous.
Of course I will.
Oh dear.
What's happened to Audrey? What's happened to Audrey?
I don't know what's happening to Audrey. I mean, you could ask this. You could ask this question at any moment in time, and it would be valid. What has happened to Audrey? Where is Audrey? That's right.
You know what? I'm gonna put, because I can't see what people are saying in the comments, so I've got an iPad running along with this, so I can see the YouTube comments. Because it's a StreamYard, remember, so I can't see anything.
I can see it. I feel really technically advanced at the minute. I am technically for once. I'm the most technically advanced person here. It's been a long time coming, that mate.
It has. This is. I mean, what stream is this? 45.
Good Lord, that's right. It is 45. Oh, hold on a second. Here's trouble. It's Audrey Jane, but she's got herself muted.
Get off mute.
That's right. Unmute yourself. Microphone, bottom left-hand corner. Can't hear her. Oh, there she is.
Hello.
Outrageous.
My dad keeps trying to phone me, so it keeps cutting off.
Tell him to sod off.
He's in Sweden at the moment, and I think he's a bit drunk.
Oh dear. That does tend to happen when you're in Sweden, doesn't it?
It's because he's been given a £50 allowance a day. And the thing is with my dad is he will spend every last penny.
Good
so
man.
I'm not proclaiming him to be a drunk. I'm just saying he's going to spend all of that allowance probably on a bit of food and a lot of alcohol.
It'll not go too far in Sweden, though, will it? Sweden's expensive.
Did I tell you what he did the other day?
You went to IKEA?
No. He phoned me and he said, I really need your advice. And I was like, what's wrong? And he was like, I need to know what to buy your mum because I want to buy her a present while I'm away. He was like, I've been into Chanel. And I just thought, oh God, I thought, like, I've showed you a video of my dad before, what he's like. And I just thought my dad let loose in Chanel, like those poor sales associates won't know what's hit them. And I could just imagine he's just like the perfect customer for them because he's just clueless. So he's just be there and I could imagine him leaving with like bright pink eyeshadow and like bright orange blusher, which is fine if that's what you're into, but I just can't imagine my poor mother's into it. So anyway, so he basically said to me, it's like, and you know what he said? He was like, Chanel is so cheap over here. I went, well, what? I said, well, what do you mean? I said, Dad, like, I think the pricing is pretty standard, whatever country you go to or whatever continent. And he was like, no. He said, I'm telling you, what you sent me was half price. And I was there and I was thinking, oh God, what's he got in his little bag? But apparently he went back into store the next day and he'd like converted it wrong, apparently, which I think was down to the booze. But anyway, it just really made me laugh because I was there and I was saying, right, I was like, you need to be looking at something. You need to look at Cocoa EDP. And he's like, what's EDP? So then I had to write it all down for him. And then I was like, right, I want you to get me about 4 bottles of Cristal. And he's like, what's Cristal? Is that a drink? And I was like, no. I was like, it's a perfume.
Did he get you some?
No, because I think if anything, it's probably more expensive than the UK, to be honest. So that was a bit disappointing.
How does he get along with his accent? Because he's got quite a thick Brummy accent with Dudley.
My dad, the only way I can describe my dad's accent is like Ozzy Osbourne, but like probably worse, which is quite strange that he could probably be worse than Ozzy Osbourne. Like people really struggle to understand him. So I felt so sorry for these poor shopping assistants. I felt like writing an email to like, I don't know, the Swedish Chanel, like just to say, there's probably a man that's attended your store who's about 5'10", bald head. I'm just going to apologise on his behalf now.
Outrageous.
They might have thought it was Ozzy Osbourne.
You what, sorry?
They might have thought it was Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah, but he's got far less hair, hasn't he? Unless he put a wig on, we could maybe put like a hairpiece on him or something.
Little round glasses.
How are you both anyway? I feel like we've spoken about Sweden now. How are you, Jura? And Duck?
I'm good. I'm trying to hydrate because my mouth's already getting dry talking for like 2 minutes. I don't know how you do it, Duck, to be honest. There's me hydrating. But yeah, I'm doing good. I've just had some sushi.
You need to tell everybody about, well, if you want to share about your new job, because I think it's really impressive what you're doing at the minute.
What, who, me or the Duck? Selling on eBay or?
We'll get to Duck's eBay in a bit, but on about what you're up to, unless it's obviously private, and then we'll just tease everyone.
Oh, no. I mean, I've been a stripper now for about 2 years. I'm not that private. No, I've been working basically a couple of months ago. I started working in a perfume shop, mainly just for the fun of it. I mean, there's a lady, she's the only other perfumer in Ireland, and she runs the only niche shop. And she got in contact with me over Instagram and says, "Look, would you like to work in this shop? Because they're looking for someone to, do work Fridays and Saturdays, but obviously people of knowledge." And I was like, "Yeah, definitely, sign me up. I get paid to talk about perfume." So. Yeah, that's been quite fun, quite eye-opening as well, actually, to see how different people react to perfume or how far they get into it and stuff. And to be fair, the perfume culture in Ireland is quite decent. I mean, there are people out there collecting, which, I know it's a bit behind, let's say, America and UK and stuff, but in Ireland, it seems to be it's quite good.
And it's a niche shop as well, isn't it? So it's not like your typical, Paco Rabanne, which is your bestseller.
Do you know what? We had someone come in, these couple of builders came in and says, "Do you sell Invictus?" I was like, yeah, no.
Did you say builders?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I bet I'd love to have seen that.
We get some crazy people coming in as well. Some crazy people asking for crazy things as well.
What have they asked for? That's completely bonkers.
Well, I work with a guy who used to be a perfume reviewer called Freddie. He was saying, Hill has. He said he had this strange guy come in asking for the smell of a woman's nether regions. And he's like, specifically, it has to be the one of my wife. Do you have that smell? And he's like, whoa, back off there, back off. Okay. I'm glad you hear that there.
He wanted something to smell like her front bum.
Yeah. That's what you're doing.
Oh my goodness. Why would the shop know what? I mean, how would the shop know what that smelled like?
I don't know. And the nice thing is, apparently he brought his wife in like a couple of weeks later. And Freddie was like a bit worried. He was like, oh God, what's going to happen?
It's like a velvet curtain at the back where like you just secrete and milk people for all of their like pheromones.
What's that thing? Headspace, you know, the thing they go around. It's like a little thing.
Excuse me, we're just going to milk your wife out the back.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry, Rich. This stream's gone south already.
No,
Absolutely got out of hand straight away. This is a fragrance stream for fragrance people.
Well, we are. We're talking about pheromones. Have you told Freddie that he needs to return to YouTube?
I have.
Pardon?
I can't. He might not. He might not yet. I can't see him doing it yet.
Did
What's
you tell
that?
him what I thought had happened?
Yeah, he
No.
laughed.
So,
Oh yeah.
don't you ever, for example, if you ever find like a YouTuber you really like, and it might be fashion, it might be fragrance, it could be anything, cooking, makeup, whatever, and they're a person that's got quite a few views and they've got quite a few thousand subscribers, and then all of a sudden they just disappear. Have you ever found that with like a YouTuber?
Yeah, like you.
Yes, that's right. Yes.
I'm sure my 20 subscribers wonder where I've gone. Anyway, and I am one of those people, I don't know why, I take it upon myself to investigate what's happened to them.
Nosy.
And I was looking through Freddie's Facebook, through his Twitter. Like I don't think, did he have an Instagram? I'm not sure. And I declared after about 30 minutes of searching that he was deceased.
Right.
And then,
so you killed him off, did you?
then Jura told me, he was saying that he's working with some really cool, flamboyant people. And then he told me who he was working with. And I was like, oh my goodness, Freddie's alive, after I'd like wrote him off or whatever. But he really needs to come back because he's such a fantastic reviewer.
Yes, I've seen his videos.
He needs to.
Have you got his channel, Jura? And I'll put it in the comments for people to go and investigate.
Oh, I'll try and find it. 2 secs.
So how are you, Duck? Anyway,
I'm all right. Had a big day. Obviously, we'll get onto that. I'm not onto that yet. I want to get quite a few people in here before we unveil.
What's the magic number? What are we aiming for?
I don't know. I just feel like I want to settle into it for like half an hour probably. Get some people in here. Get enough people just so that everyone can hear the unveiling. I'm going to do a video about it tomorrow after you convinced us to not do a video about it today and hold on to it after you told us about what you're doing with your fragrance, which is absolutely unheard of.
Why don't you put this to the chat? And I'm sure they would agree with me that I've done nothing wrong.
I'm baffled by it. Like I really struggle with it. Like, you've Audrey Jane, right? Jumped on a hole that I got a while ago.
I think it was back in like March or April, I think.
Yeah, it was like around the sort. It was just after we went to Manchester.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was like April. So it would have been like May probably, but it feels like longer. And it was like, she was like, ooh, I really like this Nuit de Bakelite. And I was like, well, I hate tuberose, but I actually quite like that. That's actually like a really good fragrance.
But I'd never smelled it, had I? Because when we all met in Manchester in May, and there was Aisha there as well, and Richard
Yes.
G and Lee and everyone. And I remember Jura like held up the card to me, and I think at this point we'd smelt between us like about 6,000 fragrances.
At least.
So I'm surprised I could still smell anything, because I went a bit nose blind, and he went, here. I think the person in the bar wondered what we were all doing, because we were like passing cards around and like little small decants and stuff. And I remember Jura held it to me, and Aisha as well. And I remember just smelling this, and I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, I haven't smelt a fragrance like that for a couple of years. And because I started like collecting, I suppose, at the beginning of the lockdown. And I just, when you instantly smell something and you're just like, wow.
Yeah.
And I just remember saying to Jura, where on earth did you get? Because I thought, where is this from? Like, this is definitely niche. This isn't something that you buy in the in a department store or whatever. Yeah. And then that's when he said, obviously, he'd sampled it in Ireland. I was like, that's no good for me.
Yes.
You're no good to me. Get back on the plane and go grab me some.
Yes.
And then I remember you were getting that haul in May in Germany, and you said, I can get you some. And then straight away I was like, yes. I was like, here's my money, take it.
Yes, that's right. Do you want to tell the people what it is?
Well, you can carry on, because I kind of butted in, because honestly, whenever you talk about it, it's just an instant, like, I don't know, I'll just get really excited about it. Go on, sorry.
So I decided to get this haul from Germany, from Essenza Nobile. And I was like, ooh, Audrey Jane, I can get that from Essenza Nobile, and we can get like some money off, because they're really nice. And we decided to do that, and the fragrance was Nuit de Bakelite. And I was like, ooh, Nuit de Bakelite. I thought about getting it as well, because it was really nice, but I wanted to sample it again. And when you got it, I opened them up and I sent it on to you. Mm-hmm. And lo and behold, Audrey Jane still hasn't opened it. Absolute madness.
She'll open it when it's a vintage.
Yes, that's right. She'll open it when it's like 20 years old.
Do you know what? As soon as it came, because it takes, whenever you order a fragrance from the Duck, if ever you've been that lucky, you will know the type of presentation that he gives you when you order something. So bear in mind, you're going to need a good set of carving knives to get through the box to chop away all that masking tape. Because yes. on Adamant, he uses an entire roll of tape just to seal it. But anyway, I remember getting this box, and it still had the roll of masking tape all around it. And I'm not kidding you, I could smell it through the box.
Outrageous.
And now it's on my windowsill. I don't keep fragrance on the windowsill. It's just been on there while I've been tidying out some stuff today.
Jesus, shit myself when you said that.
But it's in a box. It's in a like a black box, so it is covered. But I can still smell it. I can still and I've not opened it. I mean, knowing my look, you know what I'm like. It's probably broken. It's probably in half, and there's probably only like 2 more left in it. But it's probably broken the transit. But literally, I just was like, that straight away is my fragrance. Like, not my fragrance, not my signature, but that's just the type of fragrance that I want. I don't want a skin scent. I don't want something I need to put 20 sprays on to get something out of. And I think sometimes people say, oh, longevity doesn't matter. I'm one of those people. It does matter to me, especially when I'm paying a large amount of money, and we all are on these fragrances. We want them to, have a bit of oomph sometimes, and literally. So it's still in the box. And I said to the Duck today, I said, I am not opening it now until spring. and
That's
he
just
thinks I'm mad.
insanity. I do think you're mad. I can't believe it.
But I can't wear it now because it's, for me, it's definitely a spring fragrance.
That's just so mad.
And if I spray it now, I'm not gonna have that time with it, and I'm not gonna have, you know, it's not gonna suit the mood. I don't know, like, I don't know. I'm trying to justify it to myself, I think. But
Are
yeah.
you wanting to eke it out? Are you wanting to build it up so you get excited for it and stuff like that?
But I'm already excited for it. Like, literally, I can still smell it in the box. So it's not like it's all, like I say, it's probably broke. but like I can still have those moments with it. But I think if I spray it now, I'm not gonna. It's not gonna be right because it's not the right season, and I'm a massive advocate in wearing the right fragrances during the right times of the year, if that makes sense. Like you'll be changing your rotation soon.
Yes, that's right. I do agree with that, actually. Now you've mentioned that. Sorry.
So you're not opening until spring next year. Will that be your next video?
I don't know how you do it, like, especially, I mean, he's not in the chat, I don't think, but like Ramsey, I'm sure he uploads a video every hour because that's what it seems like. I don't know how he does it.
He's so prolific. He deserves, he started after me and he's got more subscribers than me, but it's like, you can't deny the fact that he deserves it. The thing is, with these videos aren't mindless either.
Yeah, exactly.
These videos are really well informed and they're really well put together, and he's a good speaker. And he knows his stuff, so it's the quality. It's not just the quantity; it's the quality as well. He's extremely good value.
Yeah, they're all purposeful. I mean, the problem I have is I can't always catch up with them, so sometimes I have to keep saving them. I'm very much a person, and I imagine quite a few people are, but with YouTube, I watch more than what I comment. So for me, when I'm back at work especially, I'll have it on when I'm getting ready for work or when I'm having, my breakfast or whatever. But sometimes I always feel scared that because they're so purposeful and he covers a large range of vintages, I think, oh God, I've probably missed something. So I'm constantly having to save his videos. But he's an excellent reviewer.
It's not just the videos; he interacts in the comments. Every comment has a reply as well.
You could just put an emoji. You could just put, I don't know, a foot, and he would still comment. A really nice,
a foot.
I don't know, just something random. You could just put a foot in the comments, and he'd still take the time to respond. He's such a nice guy. Is he coming over here? Because I know you mentioned didn't his wife isn't he owed some kind of holiday or
holiday? Yeah, he's got an agreement with his wife. His wife had a weekend away or some time away in New York. And he was like, well, I'll tell you what, if you can do that, I'll save one for myself, which I think is extremely fucking great. It's I think that's awesome. So I'm trying to get him to use that holiday to come over to England so we can meet and join forces, the ram and the duck. But obviously I'm trying, if I can try and feng shui it so that I can get Eugene and Ramsey over at the same time. Maybe he's trying to tempt Galen. I'd asked Thomas, but I think Thomas is a busy man. Thomas actually has a life, so it's it's tough to try and get Thomas to come over and do this frivolous activity. Do you know what I mean? So it would be great if I could get everybody to come over and meet. And that would be awesome. That would be the ideal situation. But unfortunately for Ramsey, he also has a life. And he has a qualification. I don't want to get too much into it, but he's doing an educational thing. and he's doing it like fast track.
Oh,
So
goodness.
yeah, so he can't just like up and leave because he's like busy every week from now until March. So it's like wow. When real life happens and gets in the way of fragrances, see, I would never allow such a thing to happen to me.
Do
I
you
would always.
think that he sometimes, like, he understands he's got a really busy week ahead, so what he does is he puts the camera on and puts about 20 different outfits in front of him and then just films
It
for
just
like
goes.
6 hours, and then he just thinks that's it. Then I've done 6 hours worth of filming. That's enough for one day to upload, and then he just gets on with it.
I think that it could be. It sounds like a good idea. It's beyond like the scope of my experience, because like I could never do anything for 5 or 6 hours apart from like sit on my ass. You know what I mean?
Do you know what?
So the idea of like Ramsey doing like five. I mean, to be fair, if anyone could do it, he probably could. You know?
I know how to get Audrey to do more videos because she only seems to record on holiday. We should get like a green screen and she can like put
Yes.
herself anywhere like the Himalayas and just do reviews.
Do you know what? I literally come back with Penno about 2 weeks ago from Portugal, but there just wasn't a time to film at all. Like, it was just completely different to previous holidays, so it was very busy.
Was it a busy holiday?
Busy on a sun lounger.
Busy on a sun lounger, yes. Had to get that relaxation in like hard.
Honestly, I think sometimes with work you just have to rest and just do nothing. I think that's why I just tend to. The problem I have is I think because I talk so much at work that when I come home, I don't want to use my voice. Like, I really should learn how to do like sign language, because honestly, I think it would be like a bit of respite. And a fair play to anybody that can sit in front of the camera for a long time, like you or like Ramsey or Eugene. Because literally, I don't know. I think you're probably going to get about 2 videos out of me a year, and then that's your lot, I think.
Outrageous.
I will try to do more, but then also I think no one's. My collection's quite small, really, compared to some.
Yeah.
I think some people in this chat have got like a massive like library of fragrances. Like, look at Eugene, who's got like hundreds. And then there's me holding on to like the 5 in the palm of my hand. So, but I've done well this year. I know you mentioned that you wanted to like kind of refine how many fragrances you were buying. Do you know how many to hand you bought this year?
I was keeping count, right, but then I stopped and I wouldn't know where to start again. I reckon I've bought upwards of about 70. At least 70. I'm saying that's a conservative estimate. That.
Oh my gosh, 70.
At least, aye.
70.
Yeah, 70.
Oh, I've got less than 10.
Outrageous.
Literally less than 10. Because I found, like, for the last kind of 18 months, especially like building a collection, I think when you very first start, you just want to get your hands and your nose and all the rest of it around everything that you can. And I just thought at the end of last year, I just looked at some of them, and I think I've mentioned it before, but I just wasn't spending enough time with all of these wonderful, mainly vintages that I had. And I said to myself this year, I was like, unless it's got a purpose, unless it's different to something I've already got, then I don't want it. Like, you can't get your nose around everything, and and I've stuck to it, and I've you know, I'm not shaming you with your 70 at all, because you know, but I just found with me, like with the way that I was buying as many as what I was, it was just it wasn't sustainable
Yeah, it wasn't for you.
at all.
I understand that. I do understand that because I've had like other hobbies and stuff where I used to collect paper money from around the world.
Oh
Um,
wow.
and I was really into it for a little while. And they had competitions about who'd released like the prettiest banknote that year, and there was all these different banknotes, like the Bradbury pound that was released like back during like the First World War or the Second World War, and I was really into that. But I sort of fell out of love with it quite quickly as well, because it just, for me, I was like, I didn't love it enough to justify all the time I was spending thinking about it, right? I With fragrances, I never get bored. Like, and
It's
it's
a
always
hobby.
been
It's
the
a
same.
hobby. It's a hobby
Yeah,
at the
it
end
is.
of the day.
You've got to love it. I think as well. There's an element of a certain kind of stimulation with fragrance you can because it's like it goes for one of the senses. It's not purely psychological. It's
Mhm.
also like a sensory sort of thing. You know, like people who are into film,
Yeah.
right? It's like a visual thing, and then there are people who are into music. Like an audio thing. You know, anything that appeals to the senses is always going to have like a stronger sort of pull, and that's what I found with fragrance. Like I say, I've always loved fragrances, so
I
I
completely agree. It's like we've mentioned about the seasons, and I think, you know, different fragrances, although we get nostalgic for some of them, I think they tell stories. And like Jura with his collection, like I remember when he was telling us in Manchester, like what inspired him to create certain fragrances, and he was reeling off different films and whatnot. And you know, they're kind of like the seven dwarfs. Like they've all literally, I mean, you've got about 70 dwarfs stuck. Um but like they've all got their own qualities, and there's some of them you can't wear during certain points of the year or certain points of your life, or you know, in age as well. You know, fragrances that you might have leaned to when you were in your teens, you know, those sweet kind of heavy vanillas and you know all the rest of it, some, you know, those easier kind of ingredients that we wore, you know, we wouldn't even think about, you know, smelling them now because of how much more refined and mature we are and stuff. So I think, you know, I completely understand why you'd want to get your nose and have 70 fragrances in your collection this year, because it is a hobby. And, you know, it's wonderful. Like, I mean, you think about the day that we had in Manchester, you know, the six of us, we spent an entire day in 2 department stores. We spent it in
yeah,
Selfridges and Harvey Nichols. Like, you know, just smelling fragrances. Like it's bizarre, isn't it? But we had such a fantastic time, and I think it's because, you know, they're not just linear. You know, you can express yourself through fragrances, and they highlight so many different things. The list is endless.
It's
yeah,
also, do you know what? You know, you're saying about 70 fragrances, but for me, it's almost like music. Like, if you have one fragrance, it could be sometimes, for some people, like, smelling isn't much of a big deal, even though it is. And it's like, there's people, when they lose their sense of smell, they realize how big of a thing it is. Like, even for your mental health, like, tasting
Jura,
stuff. It's a really
you're
important thing.
You're talking
Sorry.
about that. No, it's me. I'm butting in. But you know that guy from, oh God, what was that band? You were playing a song the other day, that Australian band, and Paula Geldof went out with the lead singer.
oh, the Boomtown Rat got Geldof.
No, no, not him. The other one, the Australian guy.
Oh, In Excess.
Yes. What was it? What God? What was his name?
Mick Hutchins.
That's the one. I remember, and I'm gonna allow you to continue. Like, sorry for butting in, but he had, I'm sure it was him, had a motorcycle accident.
Yes,
And he
yes.
lost his sense of smell and taste, and apparently it drove him round the bend.
Yeah,
Like, it really
absolutely.
made him depressed. Sorry, and I just remember, and I just remember hearing about that, and I thought to myself personally when I read it, it would though, wouldn't it? Like, think how much you rely on your sense of smell. Sorry, carry on, butting in.
No,
Do you
I
know if I lost my
apologise.
if I lost my sense of smell now, I'll fucking off myself. I'd be devastated. Without my fragrances, I'd be raging. That would just be exactly the type of thing that would happen to me as well. Do you know what I mean? I'd be like,
Mm.
oh,
Yeah.
hey, why has this happened? Well, I wouldn't know why it happened because that's the type of thing that happens to me. But I've got like hundreds of fragrances, and then I lose my sense of smell. That's why I don't go anywhere near anybody in case I catch COVID. Um,
Yeah.
it's it's like if I lost my sense of smell, I'd be absolutely fuming.
I
Yeah.
know
You know what I mean?
some people with long COVID. Jura, I apologise. Go on what you're saying.
No,
Like,
no, no.
literally,
To be honest with you, I'm glad you said that because it just puts like a case to what we were trying to say. And I know there's actually, many people suffer from that. But the thing is, like, the thing with perfume, it's almost like music. Like when you smell a different perfume, it's like listening to a different song. Sometimes I can get bored of listening, even though I really like that song. I can't keep listening to it all the time, so I want to go to something else. And for me, perfume could be a bit like that sometimes. Like even with, say, Happy Rouge, I love that, but sometimes I just want to smell something a bit different. And I think there's always that sort of search. When you really get into music, you're always searching for that extra note, a different melody, or something a bit more. It's giving you something else. It's like an evolution. I think perfume is a bit like that in that way. And yes, you can have a little dopamine hit when you smell something new and it makes you feel, ooh, if it reminds you of the past or something, it's a big, very powerful one. Like I was smelling, what was I smelling, Rich? Lapidus, Ted Lapidus, pour on.
Yes.
Yeah, was it last week or 2 weeks ago? And there was something in the base that reminded me of my childhood, and I don't know why. And I don't think I've ever smelled this perfume. And I thought that's bizarre, but it just really just opened up not just like memories, just feelings, if that makes sense. And it does have that power. And I think personally, when people start getting into fragrances, it gets highly addictive. And I'm sure we've all got friends that sort of pushed us off as like, oh yeah, I'm not really into fragrances, but then they start collecting a few bottles, and then they're quite getting into it a bit. I think it's just. Yeah.
And they do. Do you know what? As well, I think the main thing is they make you feel good. Who here goes, has a shower or has a bath, gets ready, puts a fragrance on, and thinks, "Oh God, I feel like shit." Like, do you know what I mean? No one.
That's Rich putting on Lily on.
But no one really. I wouldn't have thought unless you wear it. I don't know, unless something else is going on. But it makes you feel good, and I think it really reflects how you feel as well on that day. If you're feeling a bit moody, if you're feeling a bit bitter, naturally I always go for number 19 because I think it's quite sharp. Whereas, if I want something like quite playful or quite, fruity or nice, with a bit of chocolate, I'm feeling a bit like myself, I might put some Coromandel on. Like, and I'm just using Chanel's as examples, but I mean, those are my kind of day-to-day fragrances. And then, if I want something where there might be, I don't know, a wedding or a graduation or a party or something, I might put something on that I wouldn't necessarily always wear, but, it's a special moment. So I want a special fragrance that I only, wear every now and again. And I think the one thing fragrances do is they just make you feel good. I genuinely think that massively.
No, I agree.
Do you know what I mean?
I would agree with that totally. I've found the whole sensation around fragrances at like my sort of like my sort of like ritual around fragrances is like the researching, the looking, the anticipation, like the buying gives you like a purpose and stuff like that. I've built up like this whole sort of like ecosystem around fragrances, and it's really kept us going over the last like 5 or 6 years while I've been like unwell and stuff like that, and how it's given us like something outside myself to focus on. And I think a lot of people have that, especially like with us around, like because we are like a niche within a niche, if that makes sense. Like there are lots of people who are into fragrances, and then there are like people who are more into fragrances, and then there are like everybody splits off into all these little like different like threads and groups and stuff like that, you know. So this niche within a niche within a niche has sort of like given definition and like hope and something outside yourself. It's good to have a hobby. I think a lot of people, like, if you don't have a hobby, you should try and find something that you're interested in that isn't work. I mean, if you find something to work that you love, they say you'll never work a day in your life, you know, because you'll enjoy what you're doing. But for a lot of people, that's not true. For a lot of people, work is shit, you know. Like I remember like Eugene saying that you would go to work all day and just dream about fragrances. You know what I mean? Like sit and think about fragrances all day, and that's what would help you get through. That's what like a good hobby will do for you. It'll help you like it'll enhance your life. It's the other stuff around it, like for me especially, where it's like the purchasing aspect has become a large part of it. Do you know what I mean? Like I've got that sort of facet of my personality where I'm like I can become like obsessive over things. I don't know how you two feel that way. Well, I mean, clearly from like what buying habits used to haven't got it as bad as I have, but
I was going that way. I think I definitely. I think with lockdown, and working from home, and just getting into fragrances on YouTube. I think with me, I found that I was spending so much money, so, like crazy amounts of money, and like I say, it wasn't even so much, you know, getting myself in trouble financially or any of that, but I was kind of thinking, I'm buying all these fragrances and I'm literally spraying them once, going, oh, that's nice, and then putting it in a cupboard and then forgetting about it for 6 months. I mean, the perfect example that I have got was the other day. I can't remember if I told you. I'd been to, I sometimes go up to somewhere called Cheshire Oaks. So if you're in the UK, it is a big kind of outlet, like an outlet of lots of different companies, like different shops. And it's kind of just like by Runcorn, so Ellesmere Port by Liverpool. So it's probably about an hour and a half away. And I go up quite regularly, but I was going through my spare bedroom the other day and just sorting some stuff out. And I came across a bag with a scarf in that I'd purchased. And for some odd reason, the scarf was still in the bag. I hadn't worn it. And this was last August. And I'd been to Cheshire Oaks. And I literally put my hand into this bag and I pulled out some Frederick Malle from over 12 months ago that I hadn't opened.
Outrageous. What was it?
The one you hate.
Oh, there's a couple. Which one?
Tell me which one, and I'll tell you if you've hit it. The one that I love, even though it's very linear, but it's the one I always get compliments on.
Is it the one that you sent a picture of the other day, Lis Mediterranee?
No, that's a different one.
Okay.
You don't like it. You say it's
Rose and Queer.
Yeah, no rose in it.
It's rubbish. I just
Do you know
don't
what
think that...
though? It is the one fragrance. Whenever I wear it, I get compliments. Always.
Yeah.
absolutely always. There's that I always get compliments for, and the odd vintage here and there. But that one, I guarantee, whenever I go out, I always, and it's rare because let's be honest, it's very rare, I think, to get complimented on your fragrance, unless like you walk into a room and someone immediately smells it. I think for me personally, no one will ever say, "Oh, what's that you've got on?" Whereas that one, I always get it. But that's just to give you an example of a fragrance that I bought 12 months ago that I'd completely forgot.
I remember when you bought that.
No. So I've bought it 3 times.
Oh Christ! I remember one of the times you bought that.
So I bought. Do you know what? I always go up, and if you're in the UK, definitely go to Cheshire Oaks because there's a store there called the Fragrance Company, and they sell Estee Lauder, MAC Cosmetics, Joe Malone, if that's your thing, and they sell the odd Mal, and they also have some Tom Ford as well. That big one I sent you the other day. Was it what did I send you in that massive bottle?
Ooh.
Was it oud wood or something?
Tobacco, was it?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't tobacco. I don't think. I can't remember what it was.
Good. I would have remembered.
No, it wasn't because I think you'd have told me to put it in the basket if it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're a UK citizen, definitely, because I've always got Frederick Malle, and I bought that one recently, the big bottle. How big are the Frederick Malle bottles now?
100 ml.
100 ml. So I got that 100 ml for £140.
That is a great price, to be fair.
Do you know what I mean? So, and please don't drive, like, if you're down south in Plymouth or like St Ives, please don't go purely for that because it's so hit and miss. But honestly, if ever you're there, like around Liverpool, Ellesmere Port, go check it out. But yeah, so that's when I knew straight away. I'm getting to the point. Sorry, I'll tell about 3 different stories and the point I'm trying to make. But that's when I thought, this is when I knew I'd made the right decision this year by literally a couple of days ago thinking, geez, I bought a fragrance I haven't even opened, and the cap had like solidified a bit as well.
Outrageous.
I know. So
it's like fossilized bottles in your drawer or something, right?
There's things growing in there. I mean, God knows what's going to pop out from under the bed.
It's become sentient.
Jura, what are you brewing at the moment? Because I know, obviously, when we saw you in May, you bought, a load of fragrances with you. Have you been, making anything different?
Loads.
Tell us.
Loads. Oh God, this is. Tell you. Oh, what can I think of? Do you know what? I've been experimenting a lot with oat moss just for fun in the evenings.
Did someone utter oak moss?
Yeah,
that's right.
The duck's shaking. Wait, just give him a moment. He's going to fall off his little chair.
That's right.
Go on, sorry.
Involuntary quacks.
Is it the oak moss like the duck nose, or just the generic,
yes.
stand?
Yes.
What?
Yes. I've got some Yugoslavian stuff, and I've been playing around with it, and it is nice. It is lovely. I must say that it's just much more furry and warm, and that sounds a bit wrong, but it's like more deep. But it is lovely, and I've been basically trying to see like putting it in different dosages and seeing like how it affects a formulation. And I find the sweet spot is usually about 2%. Funny enough, I shouldn't be saying that because I'm all, my pro-ifra stance sometimes. 2%.
I know you're giving away your trade secrets. A magician should never reveal their secrets, Jura.
Sorry. But yeah.
So so I know, like, when you met us in Manchester, and like I know you were inspired by. So you were talking to me about some of the fragrances and saying like you'd been listening to classical compositions like Jupiter, and there were films that you were watching that's inspired you. So is there anything behind the oat moss or anything you've been watching or listening to that, has influenced what you're currently making?
I like music. Music does influence me because I find music makes me think, if that makes sense. Like, I can never ever listen to music and not think of something. So my mind always goes somewhere. It could be a memory or a thought or a place. God, I sound like Roger Dove. I'm even doing the hand movements. I'm doing the hand movements here as well. You can't see me.
Have you got like a glittery blazer on and a nice orange tan?
When I was younger, my mother gave me a kiss. And the powder went all over my face. And I realised it was... No, I'm not going to go home. Sorry. I haven't had one of those moments yet. I should maybe.
I feel like I need to mute myself.
I think, Rich, do you want to show everyone your massive thing?
No, Jura, don't take it. Don't know, because you were going to tell us.
Your thing.
He's gone shy.
He has.
He's gone shy.
You need to open up. You need some isoe super to open you up.
Oh my gosh.
You need to get that furry oat moss. You need to rub it on your body.
Jura, did you buy that fragrance you were going to get from the shop you're working in?
Not yet. I have to go back Friday to get it. So, yeah, I like it. I do like it.
Wait, have you bought any fragrances from your shop? Because that's one thing I've not heard you talk about.
Do you know what? Not yet. Do you know why? I'm about to buy something, and then I'm like, I'm not really that keen on it anymore. As soon as I'm about to buy it. It's really strange. And I'm thinking, I like that, and I wear that, and I'm like, I'm not sure of that anymore.
Which one's that?
The one I'm thinking about getting.
You said you don't like it anymore.
No, I think I will be getting it because, yeah.
Wait, what's this?
Okay, Ormond Man.
Oh, I was going to do a drum roll then, and you literally there's no stopping you. So when we get you going.
Oh, you're too slow.
So you felt like you liked it, and then you didn't, and now you do again.
No, that's for other fragrances. This, I am consistently liking it. And do you know what? It's been a slow grow. When I first smelled it, I wasn't wowed at all. I was like, and I am like that with a lot of Woman Jane fragrances, to be fair. And I think most people will feel the same. But it's one I just keep wearing, and I'm thinking, do you know what? This is actually really nice. I like it. And I know that many people say they get this, and they think it's synthetic and all that. I don't really get any of that. I really like it because I really like sort of smooth sandalwood fragrances, and I don't get any harsh. Like if you ever smell like the Perfume aroma sandalwoods, like Celso or Santalum, that's the type of sandalwood I hate. Like really harsh, sharp sort of. That is just. Ugh.
I always think, because I absolutely adore Samsara, that I really struggle to kind of. That's kind of on. What word am I looking for? Like a pedestal for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think when people say Samsara, I think for me it's that wonderful, creamy. Not, by the way, not the current formulation that is used in my toilet as an air freshener. It's absolutely disgusting. I apologise if anyone's got it in the chat.
Hello?
Sorry, my phone was just ringing. My dad was trying to phone me again. You do you. However, if you try a vintage Samsara, honestly, it'll blow your mind. If you have the chance to smell vintage or current formulation, and I think it's that gorgeous, creamy Mysore sandalwood that's used in it. Honestly, for me, it's just wonderful.
Yeah. Like real Mysore sandalwood. I don't know if you guys have smelt it. It smells like milk. when I put it on my skin, it smelled someone that put milk on my skin. To me, it wasn't even woody or anything. It just smelled so creamy, and warm, and milky. And there's just no comparison. I mean, the Australian sandalwood's all right. I mean, it's just more fresher and woodier. It's not as creamy. But you can tell the difference between, let's say, like Javanol smells all right and all the synthetics, but they haven't got that sort of creamy. For me, it's just there is a big disparity between the synthetic and the natural there, I must admit. And that's what we're probably getting from like the modern Samsara compared to the vintage. It's that disparity between.
It's honestly the most, because I've got synthetic fragrances, and I'm not going to say that naturals are the only way to go forward, because like I've said to you before, naturals don't always age that well. But that, honestly, it's the worst. I remember I put it on for work, and there's one person who I work really closely with at work, a really good friend of mine. And I remember she said to me, she always comments. I know I said not many people comment on my fragrance, but she always says I've got like a particular smell. It's probably the most horrendous smell she's ever smelled, but she's too nice to ever say. But anyway, there was one day she came into my classroom and she said, "Oh my God, what is that smell?" And you know when you've got that moment wherever you've sprayed something and you kind of sink down in your chair and you're thinking, "Oh God," I was thinking, "Please don't come any closer because it's me." And she literally walked over to me and she said to me, "Oh my goodness," she said, "that does not smell very nice." She said, "It doesn't smell like you at all." And because she's my friend, it came from a nice place. But I remember, like, kind of taking a step back. I left my classroom, and then I came back into it. Literally, I'd been to the staff room, got a drink and whatnot. Come back, and I went into my classroom, and I thought, "Oh my God, that Jeffin stinks." Like, I could not crack the windows open quick enough. I literally was like, that is the most horrendous synthetic smell I can't even describe it. I just felt like, oh my God, like how could I not? I think I was a bit nose blind, to be honest. But anyway, so that lives in my bathroom now, and it just does its thing in there.
Yeah. Outrageous. Okay. I am going to move on to a big reveal. So I know you two know what it is, and there's a few people who do, and I'm grateful for it.
I'm glad to see it's past the watershed duck as well.
Yes, it is. That's one of the things I was waiting for, because I'm about to swear me fucking arse off. I am fucking buzzing.
Oh my God. I think you should tease the chat a little bit more, like maybe give them like a sexy dance around the bottle.
I was gonna. I can't. Not with my hip. I am about to do a little intro.
Wait, can everybody? Does everyone want to have a guess in the chat before?
No, no one's allowed to guess.
What? No, why?
Because I want to lead people down this path.
I think they know anyway. This has been like the golden Willy Wonka ticket for you for so long.
That's right, it has, and I've got it. I've got it right in my hand right now.
What does it feel like in that? What does it feel like in the fist?
It's big. It's big in the fist. It's big in the fist.
I feel sorry for anyone joining at this moment.
Does it feel quite weighty?
It's massively weighty. It's thick. It's weighty. It's massive. It's tall. It's heavy. It's got a metallic top.
I'm not going to say anymore because I'm going to get myself in trouble.
Yes. Right, so I have been chasing this fragrance for years, and what have I have recently made it.
415. Is it mushroomy?
No, it's not mushroomy. Big fungus.
Pull it out, Duck.
I'm gonna pull it out.
Can you lick it? It's a bit tangy on the tongue.
It's a little tangy.
It's a bit bitter.
It's got a bit of rose.
You shouldn't have done this with us because you know what we're like.
No, I'm gonna do a video tomorrow.
Oh God, my COVID cough's gonna come out. Let me just mute myself.
COVID cough. Oh dear. Okay.
I've composed myself. Right, here we go. Are you gonna go on camera?
I'm gonna get the camera up in a minute. Yes. Okay. So I've wanted this fragrance for ages. Jura Rose is just panting.
It's all this talk of the fist.
That's right.
Palm to palm. Palming his new toy.
Oh, you'll start talking about isopropyl in a second. What he does when he gets excited.
I love it when Jura starts proper laughing.
He's got the giggles.
God. Oh, I can't breathe. Right,
okay.
Here we go.
Are you sure?
Heavy breathing intensifies for the duck. Oh my God, there's a man at work.
Is
right, his heart's in the right place. But I'm not kidding you. Whenever he's got this weird breathing. I've just read Pradeep's comment. And I'm having like PTSD. Okay, right. Okay, here we go. Sorry, we're ruining the duck's moment, Jura. Come on.
It's you.
We're like the mum and dad, and the duck's trying to show us his new toy.
Go on, Duck, please. Stop Audrey. I'm going to die.
Yes.
Oh, God.
Okay, here we go. Right, come on. Here's your
Right.
moment, Duck.
That's right. Are you ready? Are you there? All right.
We're listening now. We're the attentive parents.
That's right. That's so you should be. So, calm down. So, I've wanted this fragrance for a very long time, and I have and ahed, and then about a year ago, it became impossible to find except one bottle on eBay, which has been there for well over a year that nobody has bought. And it was a big unit. And I recently decided to stop buying as many fragrances and start trying to concentrate on getting better ones.
Well, that's a lie because you bought 70 this year.
Yeah, I know. I said I would try. I said I would try, not that I would.
You're telling fibs.
But this was very recently that I've decided to start doing this.
What, today? Today?
No, not that recently. It was very recently, but not that recently. It was a few weeks ago. So I decided to start selling some fragrances off, and they actually started moving rather quickly. I wasn't expecting them to go as quickly as they did. And so I was left with a lot of money, and it wasn't any new money. It was old money. It was like money that I'd already spent on fragrances. So my plan was and is to shrink the collection, but to also improve it. So I wanted to buy better fragrances, but have less fragrances. So I've sold off a lot of stuff that I didn't like, such as Fleur de Mal and Roger, the couple of Rogers I had.
You keep trying to sell it all to me. You're like, oh,
I've
Audrey,
got
come,
this.
come smell
Yes,
this.
that's right. I would much prefer to sell. I would much prefer to sell to like friends than I do on eBay because there's no fees. Plus, I'm trying to sell you those vintage Samsaras that I've got, the two Mysore ones.
I've told you I'm definitely gonna require that full bottle. You just got to give me time. Nobody wants to buy any of my stuff on eBay.
No,
You
it's
know,
I've got that Iris. I've got that Iris Malacan as well.
Have you had any silly offers? Because do you remember with mine, with that Kristen Dior Amber Nuit, someone offered me £25 for quite a hefty bottle. £25.
Yeah, people.
I literally replied and I said I'd rather pour it down the sink and block them. Sorry, carry on. Go on.
Yes. So I decided to put my money to good use and buy a unicorn, and not just any unicorn, one of the unicorns, and a massive unicorn. He doesn't buy his unicorns. He acquires his unicorns. So yes, and the fragrance that I decided to buy was. Here
we are.
Imagine if it just cut off there.
Guerlain Vintage Derby. 200ml.
Are you going to put it on screen or are you just telling us?
It's on screen.
No, it's not.
It is.
Oh, I can see it.
Well, that's because I put it on screen. Nice.
You sound so surprised, Audrey.
It's gone now. Where's it gone? Oh my goodness, that is huge.
It is proper huge. Hold on a second. Let us get a bottle of, I don't know, geranium. For fuck's sake. Geranium poured onto the scale.
That's what happens when you hold things by the lid.
Don't you have a mini of that as well? The mini.
Yeah, I've got a mini of that. Yeah.
Put them next to each other.
No, the mini's like 7.5, and it's in another place. I'm gonna do like an unboxing reveal video tomorrow, and then I am going to do a comparison because I also have, thanks to Anuj, this little gold cap, 30ml. So I've got a little 30ml there as well. I'll put that back. That's just for scale.
That bottle is gorgeous.
It is absolutely stunning.
It looks like an old whiskey bottle.
I was going to say, can you just turn it so we can see like the profile as well?
Oh, you want to see the side of it? Sorry, I thought you meant put the camera in profile. That's what it looks like on the side. It's meant to be a Centurion's breastplate.
So when was this released? What year, sorry?
1985. It is the Guerlain answer to... It is the Guerlain answer to Koros and Antaeus. Hold on a second, I'll bring you back. There you go, you're back now.
Oh, that's cool. Is the cap heavy or is it plastic?
It is plastic, but it's got like metal in it as well, and it's got weight. So, but it's just a stopper. So it's beautiful. The fragrance is in perfect condition as well. I decided to put some on my hand today to see how the smell was there, and I forgot that it had mint in it. and I got this blast of mint, and I was like, "Good God, what's this?" And then I remembered it's got a really great mint note in it. 10 years later, Guerlain did another fragrance with mint in it called Un Air de Samsara.
That's what you keep telling me, isn't it? That one.
Yeah, you'd really like that. It's Samsara with mint. It's fucking fantastic.
I can't even imagine what that would be like based on like the warmth, because I think mint's quite a sharp note.
It really did. It really did. It really did have. It really does work. Sorry, it really does work for like a heavy fragrance, but then with like this mint contrast, it really does work. You wouldn't think it, but it does.
Michael, who bought it from a private seller that he was harassing with loads of messages.
That's not true. I bought it from a public seller who I spoke to twice.
No, but she was a private seller on eBay, wasn't she?
Yeah, she's not like a business or anything like that.
She just had that at the back of the cupboard.
She was like, "I've had this for years. Nobody's ever bought it. It's 800 quid. It's a big bottle."
How old is that bottle? Sorry.
So this bottle is pre 1990. The reason I know this is because no Guerlains had a barcode before 1990, and this doesn't have a barcode. In fact, it actually has a handwritten barcode on the bottom. I'll show that on the video tomorrow. So if you're watching now and you want to see like a proper unboxing where I'll go into like detail and everything, stay tuned. I'll do that video tomorrow. The batch code is DH8CB3. So I believe it's a 90. I believe it's like a late 80s, mid to late 80s. DH8C3B. So it's also it's an eau de toilette, all right, and it is at 86%. So the oils are only at 14%. It is an eau de toilette, but it's fucking nuclear.
Yeah.
Is it a splash or a spray, did you say?
It's a splash, but I'm going to decant it into...
I knew you would.
What that means is that I can decant 10 ml at a time, and then it like put the bottle away so it's not exposed to anything, you know? So I'm going to be able to look after it, and it will be fun.
Are you going to tomorrow? Is it just an unboxing or is it first impressions?
I'll do a first impression as well, probably. Maybe it's not even a first impression. Just talk about it, and how I've like always wanted it, and how, like, not necessarily what I paid, but like just like talk about like the acquisition of it. Richie G's trying to ring us the shit house. He never tries to ring us. The fuck is his game?
It's because literally you showing everyone that was kind of like, do you remember in 2000 when we all thought the millennium bug was going to happen? Well, this was like one of those situations. So I bet his TV started flickering.
It could have been.
Are you laughing at me, Jura?
I'm not laughing, am I? Can you hear me laughing? Don't make me laugh, man.
So now that you've purchased your kind of golden unicorn, is that it now?
No, I've got a couple of other unicorns. I'm always open to buying vintage Serge Luton.
Oh God, have you seen the prices of those on the internet though?
Some of them are absolutely heinous, like the prices that they want for them.
I don't know how people can like put those prices so high, like literally hundreds of pounds.
I've seen a few recently for around 100 quid. So I got in touch with the seller and I was like, "Oh, would you part with those 3 bottles? Like, if I bought each one if I bought like all three of them as a job lot, would you sell us them as like at a discount? And they were like, no. And I was like, cheers for that, bye. It was a bit of a nightmare, like. So
at least you asked. At least you didn't try and offer £26.
Could you imagine?
For a Privé bottle. I was there. I was like, I'd literally listed everything, and I was proper like pumped. Like I was like, yeah, I'm on eBay, and then I get my first offer in, and I'm there like rubbing my hands and feet, thinking yes. I was thinking I haven't had payday yet, so this is going to be a nice little earner. And then all of a sudden it came through. Just thought, I don't think it was even £26. I think it might have been £25.99.
oh my god.
And I just thought, oh my goodness. Like, you know how angry I was anyway about it. I just couldn't. I thought, I know we're in a bit of a recession and things are tough at the minute, but Jesus Christ, like £26 for that bottle. And it was the worst thing ever because they were a seller of fragrances themselves.
Yeah.
So I felt like going on, not that I did, but I felt like going on to all of their bottles and putting in offers of like £1 and £2.50 and stuff. But I just thought, no, I'll just leave it. It won't make me feel any better. So yeah, it was one of those. And I'm selling Jura Rose's all-time favourite fragrance on there because it just evaporates off my skin.
Happy Rouge. Oh, why? You should keep it just for reference.
No, because I can't reference something I can't smell. I'm just gonna get the Pledge wood polish out the kitchen cupboard.
So
reference that.
Joking.
I'm calling all people in the chat who love Happy Rouge.
There'll be one person. You haven't even got a bottle though, have you?
Of Happy Rouge?
Yeah.
You joking? Of course I do.
So how? I didn't think you did.
I'd be a right twat if I went on about it. Had a picture of Happy Rouge. Go on about it. And that's my favourite fragrance. I don't actually have a bottle. Could you imagine?
Outrageous.
Do you remember when we all thought Jura Rose was a 60-year-old woman?
Yeah.
It smells like one.
Do you know? Thanks. Yeah, everyone, because the first time people ever come across me was in impersonators' lives, and everyone thought I was an old woman. Well, I am pretty much an old woman, but
I think I used to refer to you as love. I think I was quite like the stuff I reserve for the more mature audience.
It's like Harry's granny, Doris.
Yeah. Hello, Jura. Do you want me to help you cross the road after the chat and all that?
How's the weather in Ireland? A bit bitter. I love looking at people's little pictures, and I was on about this to Audrey the other day, like the misconceptions you have about people's like avatar pictures and their names, and what gender you think they, what age you think they are.
We do. We make so many assumptions.
Is that actually your own picture as well that you took?
Right, yeah.
I feel like you pulled it off the internet.
You can see like the watermark still on it and stuff.
What's that in the back? What's the background?
I don't know. There must be some sort of cover or a jumper or something. It's red anyway.
You know what that is?
Red.
That's the red velvet. It's the red velvet curtain in your shop. You go take all the clients behind the curtain. Oh my gosh. I honestly don't think I could work in a perfume shop.
I just start laughing at people.
You couldn't.
I honestly, do you know what? I don't know what I'd have done if someone would have approached me with that request. Do you know what? You could have probably made something though, because you're a perfumer.
No, I would. Do you know what? If I was get paid a lot of money, maybe. But seriously, you have to realize you have to stick around that like beaker for fucking ages.
Say that again, sorry.
You have to stick around that beaker, smelling that all day. Could you imagine? Like just constantly, you drop your nose for like 2 weeks.
Do you know what? He must really be in love with his partner.
Yeah.
He must be like besotted.
Yeah, but most guys who feel that way just buy their loved one a perfume. But this guy,
he wanted to wear it round his neck.
He never wanted to leave. So.
Oh, God, I don't even know what. Oh, and I can just imagine the person who dealt with him, Freddie. I can probably imagine, because he's quite posh, isn't
he? Yeah. No, he was a bit disgusted by it.
Oh. Yeah, I don't think I could get on board with that, to be honest.
No. Is Richie just there stroking your derby?
I think he is, because he's quieting down. He was so looking forward to it.
I'm just basking in the crack, in the quack. I'm basking in the quack.
Don't mention cracks after that, okay?
Oh my goodness. I think he's having a lie down now. I think it's took it all out.
I am literally having a lie down. I am literally having a lie down now. It's true. Absolutely nailed it. But I often have to have a lie down anyway. Do you know what I mean? It's my natural disposition.
So when are we all going down to London? That's the question that everyone.
When Ramsey and Eugene sort themselves out, and we'll all meet up. It'll be nice. We'll have different friends there. If anybody wants to come, we'll have a big meetup. It'll be great. But me and Eugene will be holding hands. So you'll just have to be comfortable with that.
I remember when I thought Eugene was about 5'6" as well, and
Right.
and I saw a photo of him, and I was like, "My goodness, I didn't expect you to be that tall."
What made you think he was a wee man?
I honestly, I don't know what it was. I mean, I apologise, Eugene, if you're in the chat. I think I did say to him anyway, like,
Yeah, but he sits down in most of his videos. You must have thought he was standing up.
Yeah,
yes.
I think I've really noticed it. You know, when he does that. Oh God, it's so funny, that Christmas tree toss.
Yes.
Oh, with the baubles and the light switch and everything. And I remember thinking then, like, oh, you're quite tall actually. And I thought the duck could be ginger.
Oh Christ! Gosh.
I don't know. I think it's because you're northern, so I just naturally assumed you were, a red, fiery-headed male.
Ginger.
I feel like we need to talk about what our next fragrances are going to be that we're going to buy.
Ooh.
Because now you've done Derby, what's next on the hit list?
Well.
Oh my God, he definitely does have a ginger voice.
A ginger voice? What?
Oh God, that's funny. That's like comment of the night.
What a fucking ginger voice.
Do you know what? Your voice is so ginger.
It's got orange tones.
Oh, right. So, Duck, Now that you've unleashed the beast that is Derby, what's next on the list?
I don't know that I can get over that just quite so quickly like that. You just broke it off. I've been accused of having a fucking ginger voice. You can't just brush that sort of thing under the carpet, you know. That's outrageous.
Oh, that comment needs to be left up there forever.
You, sir, are a rogue and a knave. You also have a ginger voice.
That's such a playground insult, isn't it? Oh, God, your voice is so ginger.
You're Mars fat and you've got a ginger voice.
Oh, gosh. The ones I get is whenever I get, like, students come up to me where there's been a bit of playground banter. And I hear some of the insults that are thrown around, and you always forget, being like a young teenager, that it is literally the end of the world when someone insults you. And oh God, there's some absolutely brilliant ones, and I have to be so composed when they're telling me, bless them. But honestly, I think that's one that I'm going to tell them to use now on the playground.
What? Somebody's got a ginger voice. That man has a ginger voice.
Right, let's try again. Duck, you're not really ginger. Even if you were, it wouldn't be a problem.
Shut up. That's worse than oh, it happens to loads of men.
We just assumed with that angry, fiery northern, voice, that rich voice that you had. We just thought you had a touch of ginger in you.
A touch of orange. Fucking nightmare. I've been besmirched. This is outrageous.
So is Jura gonna buy this new fragrance then?
Well, he claims he is. He claims he is. He hasn't bought a fragrance in years.
I was gonna say, how long have you been like coveting it for?
A month.
Is that all?
Yeah, I mean that's pretty good going for. I mean, I could be quite a tight ass sometimes. No, I usually buy something I really, really like because I don't know, like you know how you was with Iris Malakan. You thought you liked it, and until you got it, and you're like, oh shit. I get like that sometimes, and I usually tend not like you bought you like I stop myself from buying things and really trying them because I have bought things before, and I'm like, ugh.
You have that impulse buy.
I've never really been an impulsive buyer, to be honest.
Haven't you? You're lucky.
No.
But I think being a perfumer yourself, I think you probably. Yeah. I'm not saying you have more of a refined taste, but you probably your mind works differently.
I do. Yes. That's why I love Heavy Rouge.
But I think you probably pick things out differently. Like how a director would watch a film, they probably wouldn't just, be analysing the plot. They'd be looking at all other elements that make particular scenes. So I think you're probably exactly like that. Like you consider the whole composition of things.
Yeah. I don't know. I have my I'm usually when you said you get things and you think, oh, that smells a bit similar to something else I have.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I get like that. Like I think, that's a bit redundant for me. But also, working in a perfume shop as well, it's sort of like I'm smelling things all the time. Like, like some people have to buy something to own it to smell it.
Yeah.
Like I just need to go into work and reach off the shelf and wear it, if that makes sense.
Do you go into work and like, for example, would you go into work and then, because obviously you've got to promote the things that you, in a way, I'm not saying it's just heavily on sales, but do you go into work and apply a fragrance for the day that they sell there?
Yeah, I mean, it depends actually. I mean, I usually go and spray something how I'm feeling the day, try it out. But we're not allowed to push or sell, because we don't get any commission or anything. It's not that type of shop. We're not allowed to push or sell anything. And the whole idea is someone comes in, we let them try it on skin, we tell them to go away. They don't come back. If they come back and like it, they'll get it. That's how it is. So to be honest with you, because it's the only niche shop in Ireland, it's like a little centre. We just get people coming in there just to talk about fragrance. And you get like real people, like, you know, people you talk to on this sort of chat and the live streams, like us guys. Them type of people do come in and they just want to talk. I mean, sometimes they buy things, sometimes they don't, but that doesn't matter. I mean, I like the interaction. For me, it's just like how talking to you guys on a live stream. I just do it in the shop, if that makes sense.
I love talking to people so much.
Yeah.
Like literally, I'm always in my element. I'm that person that walks down the corridor at work and I will literally have a conversation with everybody. I'd be no good working in that shop, Jura, I think, because I'd probably just be with the same customer for like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Outrageous.
Your mind's too dirty.
What?
You are.
No,
they'll be like, I want a juicy top note. And you'll be like,
I bet you do.
Let me show you these melons. So there you go. I know you just would suit that.
Oh, I'm not that bad. You've got to have a laugh. Life's hard. You've got to laugh. You've got to laugh through it with people.
It's fun. Rich, would you ever open a perfume shop in Newcastle?
Would I ever what?
Open a perfume shop in Newcastle. Newcastle.
I've thought about it. If it was something that was possible, yes, I would. I don't know what kind of fragrances I would sell though. That would be like a major problem for us because I would be shit at trying to sell stuff that I didn't like. You know, so like say I was like sent some fragrances by a brand like Creed. Say Creed wanted a stock in my shop, and somebody came in and they were like, "Oh, have you got a Ventus?" And I'd be like, "Yes, I've got a Ventus, but did you know that fucking Ventus, like the bloke from fucking Creed, was like not really the perfumer, and he stole all the perfumes from Pierre Bourdon. And like Aventus was much better 10 years ago. Like you don't want to buy this now because it's shite. What you want is the vintage, mate. No, do I have it? No, I don't. And then just be like, oh right, so it's shite. I'll just move on, shall I? That's what would end up happening. I would have to sell stuff that I loved, and the problem is, if I love it, I don't want to sell it. You know what I mean? I'd end up just getting high on my own supply.
Yeah. The thing
is,
when it comes to brands, you could be selective of like not all of them make you sell the whole line. So you could just like say if you got Les Indemnisables into your shop, usually they don't ask you to sell all of them. You could just say I like those 4. That makes sense.
Right.
Wait, do you stock them, Jura?
No.
Oh, it's like gold dust over here.
Yeah, you can only get Les Indemnisables like from like the Les Indemnisables website, really.
Yeah. We don't even ship to the UK anymore.
Don't you?
No, they don't know. Racism.
It's all those gingers.
Yes, that's right. Well, no, I mean, Ireland's full of oranges as well. Do you know what I mean?
Well, you'd be welcome here, Rich. Just speak.
Yes, the Irish and the Geordies do have like this crazy bond. We are the least hated of the English over there.
Oh, I'll just stay in my my fortress down in the Midlands then.
Yes, that's nice.
Bumbling around mindlessly.
That's right.
Because we're all so stupid. I've never been to Ireland.
Why don't you go there? You were asking about where some places you should go.
Oh no. I think Jura would probably make sure he's not working in the shop that day.
Yeah. If you like both went in.
He'd probably be like, oh, you know what? They'd probably be running behind that velvet curtain to get away from me as soon as he hears me bumble through those front doors.
Jura, do you have a velvet curtain? Is this true?
I'm not supposed to say anything. No, there's no velvet curtain.
There's no velvet curtain.
There is.
What
There's a
kind
purple curtain and it's got like like a big drape.
A big drape, has he?
Yeah, and then what happens is when they need to do some of the hard stuff, they
Go on.
they open the curtain and guide the way for the clientele.
It sounds like an expose, this. Behind the velvet curtain.
Yes, Jura says like the Wizard of Oz. I really do think you should get a curtain installed in your fragrance shop. Tomorrow, I'm going to send an email to the shop owner and tell her of my plans for her shop.
A velvet curtain.
Of a velvet curtain with a tassel.
What, just the one?
Some pleats. And there'd be behind the curtains a large mirror, floor length mirror, and there'd be like a tiny little poof on the floor that the clients can sit on.
A tiny little poof.
A little poof. Is Christoph in the chat at all? I can't see him. I think he was at the beginning.
He was. He certainly was.
He's so nice. I just wanted to thank him for sending me those fragrances he sent me. I did thank him initially, but if he was on, I wanted to say thank you again. He's so sweet. I do think everybody that the nice thing is with like I don't like the word community really, but I think with the people who interact with these channels, I do think everyone's so like happy to share what they've got, don't you think?
Yeah.
Like in terms of fragrances, so like say if you think someone would really benefit from smelling like a vintage or a niche or something, everyone's more than happy to send things around, and you know,
yeah.
I think that's across the board, to be honest. I mean, he sent those from Germany.
He did, and they came to me. I'm sending him some samples soon. I managed to get a sample across to him. I am. He wanted some. What?
Go on, sorry.
No.
I was just going to say we should all go over to Germany to go see him.
No, I'm not sure. Maybe we should. I haven't got a passport yet. I'm not sure I would get insurance either.
Well,
maybe he could come over here. He could work on his English. That's why, I'm sure it's him. It might be somebody else, actually. I think it was somebody else. Sorry about that. Christoph doesn't know work on his English. It's fucking brilliant.
I think Christoph is. I'm sure he teaches. I don't know
No, he's not a teacher. He's at university.
He's like a support teacher, though. He works. I don't know if he's training to be a teacher.
Yeah, but I think, is he doing a PhD? Because I know in like Switzerland, I don't know how similar Germany is. If you're all doing a PhD, you teach as well. That's part of it.
Maybe.
Yeah. So when you're studying, you also have to teach.
I don't think I would ever want to do a PhD unless it was, unless I was like a practitioner of medicine. Because imagine that conversation that you'd have to keep having, like when people say, "Oh, Dr. Rose or Dr. Jane or Dr. Mitch," and you're like, so you're a doctor, and you'd be like, "Yeah," and you're like, "We really need a doctor. Someone's had a really bad accident," and you're like, "Oh, actually, I'm not that type of doctor." Could you imagine? Keep having
I'm
that
a professor of
conversation.
You're thinking of like, being on a plane. Is there a doctor on board? Like, I'm not that type of doctor. I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh, we checked in a Dr. Rose. Where is he? Oh, he's in aisle D14. Okay, let's go to him. Dr. Rose wakes you up from your nap. We really need some assistance on this flight. Oh, I'm really sorry. I'm not a doctor. Wait, it says
I'm a
you're a doctor
geologist.
here. I am a doctor, but I'm a geologist. I can operate on rocks.
Yes, that's right.
I can tell you about the 3 rock types, but I can't tell you about what's going on with that man in B12.
Unless he was hit with a rock.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you the rock he was hit with.
Yes, igneous.
Metamorphic.
Oh, guys.
Do you
What's
know
the
what?
other
We
one?
shouldn't have.
Sedimentary.
Yeah, Duck, you should know this. Do you know what? We shouldn't have done this as a live because this is literally like the WhatsApp chat.
Yes. Yes, it is literally just like what we talk about. Like generally, you've just got literally just like a window into the insanity. That is like,
Should we encourage people in the comments, like read their comments, maybe get them a bit involved?
Yes, I think the one that did it for me though was the ginger voice.
the ginger voice.
I don't think anyone's gonna trump that this evening.
Oh, the orange voice. I'm enraged. I can't believe it.
I've just got the I keep forgetting that there's people actually viewing this.
I know. You'll never live it down.
Honestly, I don't even know what we've said. This is what happened. This is what happens when I do a lesson and the kids say, "Oh, Miss, that was really funny." I think, "Oh God, what have I said now?"
Yeah. Yes. What have I done now?
What have I said? Have I got anyone in trouble? Have I mentioned any names?
Am I going to be sacked?
Oh no, never.
Oh, so Audrey Jane, when are you going to do another video? Thursday.
Well, I did. Who did I promise this to?
I can't remember, but I do remember that you did.
I can't remember. Oh, was it Bobby? I think it was Bobby, wasn't it? And I said, I promise I will film it on Wednesday and it will be uploaded for Thursday. So that's tomorrow.
Are you going to do it in 4K again?
I don't know how to change this phone. Honestly, I should never have got a phone because I don't know how to operate it. I'm like that woman, you know, the like the more mature people who do the whole one finger texting and like doing stuff on their phone. That's me.
Oh no.
So I don't actually know how to not film in 4K, but it literally whenever I film something and upload it, do you remember it took 48 hours?
Yes.
2 days to upload an 8-minute video. Oh God! So I need to really work out how I can deal with that because that's another thing as well. But yeah, do you know those other fragrances that I was going to film?
No.
You know, right? So the duck that he's going to go mad at this. This is even worse than Acolyte. So whenever we did a big haul from Canada, I've not tried any of those fragrances.
What? What?
When was that?
Like last year?
No, it weren't that long. We've done one this year, I'm sure of it. I'm adamant.
Which fragrances?
Well, I didn't want to know many names because I'm gonna like actually unbox them. Excuse me, tomorrow.
This is madness.
I think you have a condition. Like, you buy things and just don't open them. Like, what's the mission?
Oh God, yeah. No, because I did say I had a lot going on at the beginning of the year, so I didn't. That's why I didn't film. So I didn't film because obviously lots of things were going on that reduced me from doing it. And then I started wearing fragrances again, and then it was just a box in the spare room. So just yeah. So they're ready. They're ready to. Do you know what? When I do a genuine unboxing, that's like a genuine unboxing. I haven't like sprayed it all beforehand. Like that is generally my reaction.
Yeah.
And that's why there's never any views, because I'm just sat there for ages, like trying to open the box or like bumbling around and stuff. I should make them more interesting. We need to sort out that green screen.
Yes.
Oh, that's brilliant. Yes.
Yeah, so we need to sort me like unboxing on a mountaintop, or down like the Mariana Trench or something.
Yes. That's an outrageous geography
reference. Oh, do you know what? I love it. I love geography. I think I said to you the other day, I just love it so much.
You're such a nerd.
Just love this. I honestly think Jura is a bit of a soulmate because he's like a geologist. Well, I mean, he's not like a geologist. He's a geologist.
I'm like one.
Kind of like you kind of like
sandals with socks, glasses.
Oh God, I just love it. Honestly. It's just good being alive, isn't it? I think it's just good being alive.
You can enjoy geography.
Honestly, it's just good to be alive.
It's good to be alive, and I love geography.
You're definitely running out of things to say. It's good to be alive.
It's good to be alive.
Better than that time I was dead. I wouldn't do that again. I've done that.
You never answered that initial question. How are there still 42 people watching this? They've gone to bed, I'm telling you. They've fallen asleep. They're not listening. They've muted us.
Yes.
Right. Oh, Eugene said, who knows when Sycamore Parfum is due? Isn't it September?
I do not know. There's a few things supposed to be coming out in September.
I'm sure it's September. And isn't it like there's only going to be like 20 odd released or something daft?
No, there's going to be more than that released.
I'm sure. Who was it that was telling me this?
There'd be no point in releasing it if there was only 20.
I'm adamant it's limited. Because let me have a look.
I mean, it might be limited, but that would just be silly. Like, let's just release 20.
I reckon it's like a VIP thing.
Nah, it's not.
Sycamore's not. It's not on. It's not available online in the UK at the minute.
But when is it going to be available? Eugene, get in touch with the sales associate. Eugene, just ring them up and be like, "Oh, hi. When are you releasing this? Tell me." Jacob might know.
20-something. Fosco says 20-something of the limited. Oh, the crystal. So, the crystal flacon or whatever.
Oh, they can keep that.
So maybe that. Yeah, maybe that. And I'm sure it's September. September. When's all the new Privé stuff coming out in September as well for
the whatchamacallit, the Cologne Blanche.
I cannot wait for those three.
I've already got a shit ton of Beau Noir. I don't need it.
Is yours the green one, Duck?
Yeah. Absolutely. I'm looking forward to wearing that. I'm starting to look forward to wear like my rotation.
Isn't the new formulation? It's not green, is it though?
No, Kurdijan asked them to take out the green dye.
Oh, was it just green dye? I didn't realise that.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't have a perfume like that colour on, like, by mistake.
Yeah, well, I know, like, Serges use a lot of yeah, but I don't know. I love that.
Dior
I love that green. You what? Sorry.
Dior, they use colouring a lot. Well, that's
Well,
why I
you
find them a
see-
bit confusing, because it's just like loads of. To be honest with you, they don't even look like perfumes in their bottles. They just look like little decorations, and they're colourful, like orange and purple. And, do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't feel, especially the big bottles. Like,
Does it put you off having them? Would it put you off having them?
If I was just to walk into a shop, I probably wouldn't think they're perfumes. I think they're like lava lamps or something. Do you know what I mean?
Fucking lava lamp.
Showing your age there, Jura.
You used to go in the. Do you remember in the UK it was called the gadget shop?
Yes.
And they used to sell, like, I don't know, you'd walk in there and there'd be like lava lamps, there'd be like plastic blow up furniture, and there'd be like, you'd always have to watch you step in because there'd be some like little robot dogs all on the floor, like trying to like bite your ankles.
Yeah. Do you remember the gadget show?
Oh, no. I remember Robo Wars. Do you remember that? Was it
Robot
Robo Wars?
Yeah.
Do you know what I watched? I watched it. So when obviously lockdown happened the first time, from the April to the like July in the UK, I remember I got into a phase where, you know, where there wasn't really much going on. You couldn't really do a fat lot, could you? And I remember I started getting really nostalgic for like 90s programming in the UK. And so I went through a phase where I'd be like watching Gladiators and like Supermarket Sweep because I loved Darwinton. And I watched that robot one, that Robot Wars. It is oh my god, it's awful. I don't know how they filmed it. Like, when you see those poor people, they've spent months creating that robot, and then all of a sudden, it's literally just there's flamethrower. It's been like absolutely annihilated by like a flamethrower, an axe, a javelin, like some kind of like big wheel, and you see their poor faces break. It was no wonder it's not on anymore. I don't know how they filmed it.
There's a funny one where there was these kids and they beat these guys, adults, and the guys got on like a proper strop and just stormed off TV because these kids destroyed their robot. It's funny how like serious like grown men can take it.
But imagine if you put that much effort into making something. It's like, do you know what they sometimes do? So in geography, we have to teach all about favelas. Okay, so there's a really big favela in South America, in Brazil, in Rio de Janeiro, called Rocinha. And what we do is we teach the kids all about this large slum, and then in their exam they have to write all about it. So like opportunities and challenges. And what they do is part of their lesson is for a couple of lessons they will basically create their own slum, and they make it out of, you know, cardboard and paper and like these really beautiful pieces of work. So I'll just be there in my lesson teaching and facilitating and whatnot, and then all of a sudden there'll be another geography teacher that comes in with a big siren, you know, like one of those like air horns, with a hard hat on, and they come in with a big hammer and they start smashing the work up, because that's what would happen in real life with a favela, because obviously the government can just do that.
Fucking hell.
That's bizarre.
That is a harsh lesson.
What if he missed with the hammer and actually
Well, obviously they like they flick it out the way. But it's literally, it's the worst thing ever. And no, I don't allow it to happen in my classroom because I think it's pretty barbaric. But do you know what? The kids will remember it in their exam.
Yeah, they'll remember it. They'll probably be haunted by it.
Just writing their essay, crying.
That's right, aye.
And there was one time, honestly, there's really, we get quite theatrical in these geography lessons as well. And then sometimes when we teach about, I can hear Jura laughing, when we teach about the 2012 Japan tsunami. And what we do then is I'll just be teaching my lesson, and then all of a sudden there'll be a massive siren that goes off, and then we'll do like a drill like they would do in Japan if there was like a natural hazard, like a tsunami or an earthquake or whatever. And I tell you what, they shit themselves because it's like it's like a real thing. Oh God.
This is the real thing about teaching, isn't it? You get to scar kids for life, and it's mint.
Oh God! Do you know what though? I do like it. It's good to be alive.
You know what you do? You're cackling away. Fucking lovely. The amount of kids' lives you must have ruined over the years. That's it. It's a fucking buzzing.
Imagine Rich at your school. Imagine Rich at your school, like in the playground, getting called. He has a ginger voice, and then to come back to class and gets favela destroyed.
Do you remember that TV show called Teachers?
No.
Did you never watch Teachers? Oh my gosh, it came out like early noughties, and that's probably a really good model to use to see what teaching's like in British schools, and it's hilarious. It's so funny. It wasn't on for very long, but definitely check it out. It's brilliant.
Oh God!
I remember when Jura said he was only staying on for an hour, and it's been 2.
That's hard.
He's having too much of a laugh.
Oh. Listen, half this stream I haven't breathed. I'm not breathing. I swear to God, I'm actually sweating. I'm physically sweating here.
Why?
That's too much laughing.
I don't think you should post this stuff because literally it's just like a WhatsApp chat. The live stream 45 just never happened.
Oh God.
That's the problem with us. We interweave fragrance, so we'll start talking about it and then we'll just go off on a tangent.
Oh God. What's everyone's scent of the day in the chat, maybe? That might get us
back on track. Yeah, what's everyone's scent of the day? We know what the ducks is. It's Derby.
No, it's not.
Parasite Gold.
Oh, is it?
It is.
I thought that.
Not wearing derby until the rotation.
Jura, what about you? What's your scent of the day?
I'm wearing Etat Libre d'Orange. You or someone like you.
Pardon?
Etat Libre d'Orange. You or someone like you. It's basically appley, mint, grassy, fresh. Enjoying it.
Is it from the perfume shop?
Yeah. I just nick samples.
Do you really?
No, we're allowed to take them home. Some samples.
I'm allowed to take them home and borrow them. And then I have to bring them back tomorrow.
Yeah.
Do you know what Christophe sent me? In my little samples, une fleur. I'm not even going to try and pronounce it in the French way. You know, Chanel.
Yeah.
Duck might know this one, but it's like gold dust. Gone to sleep. He's gone to sleep. Do you know what he's done? He's sulked off. Right, so scent of the day. Here we go. Go on, read him out, Jura.
Oh no,
big voice.
He's on mute. Oh,
Gone to relieve him.
Fosco's wearing Amouage Royal Tobacco. Interesting. That's a new one. Micah C. Schumacher is wearing B683. Galen's wearing Celine Reboard.
I've never tried any Celine, have you?
No. Do you know, I tried to. There's a Celine boutique. They only sell handbags and stuff. And I asked if they got the perfume. They said they're not bringing them, which I find bizarre.
That's strange.
FCM 415 is wearing 19.
Oh, nice.
EDT.
Is it vintage or current formulation? That's the question. Oh, Tara's here.
Yeah, she's wearing Tom Ford. Noir Parfum.
I've got that Tom. No, I've not got that Tom Ford. I've got Tom Ford Just Noir, and that's really nice. It's the only Tom Ford I've got.
Have you tried Noir Extreme?
No.
Yeah, apparently they're bringing out a parfum with that as well. I've already brought it out. That's actually quite nice. Michael Harness is wearing Bon Viveur. I think that's Mr. Smelly's fragrance, if I'm correct. MJ's wearing Danny Mead. There's a lot of Marc Anton Borra. It seems quite popular in the chat today. Josie. Paris Edinburgh, same as Rich. Dalique Pour Homme. Chanel number 22.
Oh, my chat's just scrolled up.
Go back. Speedwalk's wearing Equipage Geranium.
Letty's wearing number 22. Wonderful. The aldehyde. Have you smelt number 22, Jura?
I have, yeah.
Oh, I love it. I think I prefer 22 to number 5, definitely.
Really? You really like your aldehydes, don't you?
Do you know what? The aldehydes in a vintage number 22 sparkle. Like, it's like champagne. It's wonderful.
Do you have the soap?
I don't have 22. I have all of the others. Oh, do I have 22? No, I don't think I do. I've got 19. I've got Cristal. I've got number 5. I've got Coco. I've got Coco Mademoiselle.
Is Cristal being discontinued? Because I was asking the shop owner. She found someone. She was on holiday in Greece, and she asked me. But I heard because I asked the Chanel lady in the Chanel boutique, and they said that it hasn't been taken off their price listing, so it doesn't mean it hasn't been discontinued. They're just saying there's supply issues or something.
So there was massive supply issues, from what I understand, in lockdown with Cristal. You couldn't get it for love nor money. And then probably about 6 months ago, I'm just talking in the UK, bearing in mind, it started to come back. I think when production started to happen more globally, like more mainstream because of COVID. But there's word on the grapevine that Overt, which is the flanker for Cristal, is being discontinued. It was on the website, on Chanel's website in the UK about a fortnight ago, and it's gone now. When I was at the airport about 3 weeks ago, I grabbed a bottle then because I love Overt. But I don't know if it will. There's been some sales associates that say yes, it's going, and then there's some that say no. So I don't know if it depends on what country you're in or production or what, to be honest. So yeah, I love Cristal. That melon, but I only get the melon in the EDP, not so much in the EDT. Scent of the day. Where are we? Who did we get up to, Jura? I can't keep up with this.
Famous YouTuber Duncan. He's doing Do a Distance.
Right. Do a distance. Did you just hear a squeal? I think it was the dog.
What was that noise?
I don't know. It sounded a bit ginger. Oh my gosh, Phil Stevens is scentless today.
Could be having a break. Do you know what? Do you have any of those break days? Like you just
Yeah.
don't smell anything? Yeah, I do. Just once a month usually. To be honest.
Sometimes I like to just give everything a bit of a reset.
Yeah.
I try, I know it sounds daft, I try not to put a lot on the day what I'm like scrubbing my hair and like exfoliating my skin and stuff.
Yeah.
I think it's good to have a break sometimes. Scent of the day is Chanel Hand Cream Texture Riche. Is that rich or riche?
Riche.
Riche.
Oh, he's back. Where did you go?
I actually hurt my wrist. I don't know what I've done or how I've done it. But I've hurt
It's
my
that
wrist.
big.
It's a big thing in your hand.
Oh, it's fucking killing us.
Was that you as well? I literally heard just like yelp.
It might have been me actually. Because my foot is absolutely killing us. Like I can barely hold the phone. Are you creasing that?
It just honestly, I heard you yell.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
It
Tara
is
says
very-
the Noir Parfum is discontinued, sadly.
Noir Parfum. What's that?
Mm. She said further up in the chat.
What is it though?
Fridays.
What's Noir Parfum?
It's Tom Ford.
Tom Ford. We were talking about because I've got. Well, I bought. Do you know what? I bought it from TK Maxx and it was only about £30. Tom Ford Noir.
Tom Prawn. Did you say Tom Prawn? That's bizarre. Tom Prawn.
Tom Prawn.
Sounds like a dodgy sort of like, you know.
Oh God, that's so funny.
Pradis and Queen d'Ange. Bryson and Peace Marine.
There's some
There's a
really
lot.
nice fragrances.
What else?
I'm in.
Oh, there's a love letter to you from Dusan, Audrey. I'll read it to you.
Oh,
Thorough
thank
notes.
you.
Oh no, it's not to you. Sorry. Oh no, there was. Where was it? It's gone. Audrey Drain, your voice is so beautiful that even Tilda Swinton is wearing envy because of you. Oh,
Oh,
you're getting a lot of love in the chat, Audrey.
thank
We'll say
you.
that.
I've got a face for radio, as they say.
She's a lovely lady, guys.
Apart from which is torturing children with fucking favelas, destroying favelas.
Smashing up their paper mache favelas. Oh, it's all good fun.
Have you ever been to Brazil?
God, no. Do you know what? I would absolutely love to. But it's one of
So you
those
could smash up their favelas as well.
I'd probably be on the front of the Daily Mail.
Right.
I'd probably be like thrown in a jail for something, knowing me.
What, trying to bring back like a kilo of fucking pure
Oat
Brazilian fucking oat moss? Yes, that's right. Pure
And the
Brazilian oat moss.
And the Daily Mail would have on the front cover like a photo of me, like surrounded by like hundreds of fragrances on the floor. And they always include, I always find, I don't read it, but on the odd occasion when I do, like they'll always mention like someone's profession or something that like really targets them as a person. So it would be like Audrey Jane, teacher, 31, is caught doing, I don't know, doing whatever I'm doing.
Destroying favelas.
Destroying
This was my
favelas.
home, says local resident.
English woman busted smuggling rare Brazilian rosebud. And there'd be like a mugshot of me, just stood there. Get the English embassy involved. I was only joking. I don't really like perfumes. It's the Irish bloke's fault.
You get Boris
velvet
Johnson
curtain.
telling them that you're not a spy.
Oh God! If he had to try and rescue me, I'd be fucked. Honestly,
Absolutely.
be
Fucking
thrown away
useless
the key.
bastards. Exactly.
Hasn't he
Fucking
had
useless.
Hasn't he had like 3 holidays or something daft in like?
He's just completely abdicated his responsibilities. I mean, not that he ever fucking took them seriously, but he's like proper spat his dummy out at the minute because they got rid of him. You know what I mean?
Like I said to you, it's gonna be an absolute mess in the next few months over here.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's a good thing I've got all the perfumes that I love, so I can just bury my head in those as well. Richie G's trying to convince us to buy an Xbox, and I was like, I'm not sure about that, mate. I've got fragrances I need to buy, and he's like, well, what do you need to buy? I was like, I don't know. I was like, but I'm sure I'll find something. And I was like, nah, get an Xbox. And I was like, nah, I prefer a PlayStation, to be honest with you. And then he was like, all right, go and have a look at the prices. So I had a look at the prices, and I was like, I might get an Xbox. The fucking prices of the PlayStation was like 550 quid.
No,
I'm not paying that. I'm not paying that. You mad bastards. I'll get a £200 Xbox and think myself lucky.
Just
No
get.
way.
You know what you need to do? Get yourself a good board game.
Oh, fuck that.
Get yourself a, like, I don't know, Monopoly. I mean, that lasts for hours.
I've got one.
Monopoly.
I've got a Monopoly, aye. We should do is, right, we should all download a Monopoly app and play each other on it.
No, because I don't trust those apps. It's like online gambling.
Or would you get addicted?
They'll be selling my details to like some random countries or something. And I tell you, I don't know how kind of legit it is either.
I don't know how legit
I mean?
it is.
Like online, so like right, this is the thing that I never understand with online gambling, and I don't mean like people who do it excessively. I mean like people who, I don't know, play card games or like spin a wheel or like an electronic wheel. It's an electronic wheel, like it's been programmed. So
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? Like if you spin an ordinary wheel, you know that it's not been rigged. To a certain extent, you can see it physically, you can see it spinning, you can see when it's slowing down.
Yeah.
But like an electronic one, like it's not real. It's electronic. It's made up of tiny pixels. Like you just, how do you know that that's ever legit? That you, unless there's anyone in the chat that's won like thousands of pounds, and if so, then send me the link. I'm going to sign up straight away. But like
mental.
And I always think online gambling, so it's quite dangerous as well, because it's not, you're not giving away real money, are you? You're not handing that over.
Yeah, it's really dodgy. Whenever I buy anything, I prefer to try and pay cash, because you get the grief. You know what I mean? You get like the sense of loss. You had something and then you don't have it anymore.
I think that's why. Like, if I started collecting in lockdown, so a lot of my fragrances were blind buys. But if I'd have actually gone to a shop and had to hand over that money, I would be far more reluctant to do it than just, paying online and then getting it sent to me. It doesn't feel like I'm handing anything over, does it?
Yeah.
That's why
it's quite dangerous as well.
That's why you mentioned that, Rich, about like paying in cash sometimes, because it's that sort of physical transaction. It makes you think a bit more. Yeah.
1 sec. I'm just gonna put a light on because I'm literally sat in the I'm sat in the darkness. Do you know what? I didn't even realise it got dark.
I'd love to see you sort of trip over in the background of like a box.
My dad keeps texting me from Sweden. I think he's bored, bless him.
Maybe he's trying on different eyeliner. So which one do you suit your mum?
Imagine if he did, bless him. I've got no use for you anymore, Dad. You can't get me any cheap perfume.
Yes.
I'll see you on Thursday. He's such a home bird, bless him. Right. I've just put the light on so I can actually see now.
Fosco mentioned a perfume I like. I haven't
Which
missed it.
one?
He says went through a sample of Fougère Emerald recently, and I think I need a bottle. Has anyone else tried it? Yes, I love the stuff. I have a bottle.
What is
Why'd
it,
you love
sorry?
It's Fougère Emerald by Les Indomitables. Indomitables. And it's like a tuberose. The only thing I could compare it to, oddly enough, is Tully by Hermes.
Mm-hmm.
It's got that sort of tuberosy thing, but with a lot more tonka bean. And I will say, like, the opening is, for me, like a 7 out of 10. But when it dries down, it really gets nice because it's got like that real tonka bean in it, and I love tonka bean. And
I didn't realise you liked tuberose. Tuberose? I didn't realise you like sounding like the duck.
I didn't realise that
Tuberose.
tuberose.
I didn't realise
you
you like
sounded a bit ginger there, Audrey.
tuberose.
That's Jamaican.
Since when have you liked tuberose?
I've always liked tuberose.
Who doesn't?
No, but some people do genuinely hate it. Like even in the shop, some people when they smell any tube, they don't know what the note is, but they just straight away like, no, I don't like that.
It's a very. I always think carnal flower for me, which is a massive tuberose. I have to be in the right frame of mind for that fragrance because it can make me feel ill.
No.
Like if I dose that incorrectly, or if I wear it during the wrong month, like it'll just give me a headache.
Yeah, I mean tuberose is strong. I mean, tuberose is the flower is very strong as well. But I think what puts some people off is it's quite meaty. There's a meatiness to it. It's hard to describe.
I always think like a flesh smell.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like of like I can't describe it. You'd probably be better describing it, but like a fleshy kind of. I don't.
Yeah, absolutely, it does. Yeah, I see that, and it's weird. It's strong. It's because some people don't like white florals, like jasmine. For me, it's like jasmine with a bit of sort of like red meat and coconut in a weird, bizarre way. And I think that it's like a love or hate plant. But I think.
Jura FCM415 says carnal, that's the word I'm looking for. Like,
yeah,
definitely.
Carnal flower and all that. Which I think carnal flower is still probably one of the most realistic smelling. Like if you smell tuberose plants, like let's say a florist, carnal flower smells the closest to that to me. Because it's got that greenness to it as well.
Sometimes I'll put carnal flower on and I'll just think, oh my God, and I need to get it off my skin. Sometimes I can't tolerate it. And I just think, oh my God, what have I done? It's like if I dose Kenzo Jungle. Oh, no, if I dose that one, if I put too much on my skin for that, it just leaves me with the worst headache. It's the most gorgeous fragrance, but if you get the season wrong or like the application, the amount you need to apply, you're in a mess, really.
I mean, Nuit de Bakelite, which you like, is also a tuberose. But for me, it's not floral. It's more, and I remember Rich saying, does it have iris in it? And I do get that sort of carroty thing, like irisandre.
I think it leads more to kind of like from what I've smelt through the box. It's like it's more green.
It's definitely.
I don't get like a lot of florals. I find it quite through the box, of course. I find it quite bitter. So I don't.
Yeah.
For me, I do not think at any point I'd be able to wear it now.
Okay.
I think I think it's still quite humid and warm. So that's why I'm holding out till next year to put it on.
It might be nice for autumn because it's quite oily. There's an oiliness to me. Like it's quite thick and oily, and it's like a green oiliness. It's hard to explain. I think it's a bizarre perfume, to be honest, but it works, and it is powerful.
It's gorgeous.
It's one of the few. Like, there's two perfumes I only spray outside the shop. That would be one of them, and Secretions Magnifique will be the other one. Because they're just so strong. Just the whole shop will smell like it, and everything you spray will just smell. People will just smell that.
Do you ever see like? You would just be there like mowing around and like I don't know, filling some money bags up or whatever it is. I don't know, like shuffling some papers on the till, and you look up. And all of a sudden, it's like slow-mo. You just see someone with it in their hand and they're just about to press the spray. Just about to press the nozzle down. And it's kind of slow-mo. You go, no! And it's like you dive over the counter just to stop them spraying it in the shop because it's that potent.
I do get people just spraying it, honestly.
Oh God, they're just there like a Eugene, like where is that? And I think the Duck's done it a few times, like 10 sprays, like literally everywhere.
Oh, like you get people coming and go, let's smell this one, Secretion. It's supposed to smell like saliva and all this, and they get really like excited about it, and then they spray a load of it, and I'm just like, oh God, the whole shop. And then every customer after that, I need to take outside to smell everything.
Have you got any windows in the shop?
No, there's no windows. No, there's a little vent.
Oh my God! So like, I bet you like on a hot day it could smell like a charity shop.
Nah, do you know what? It's actually cold in the shop.
Because
where it is, it's in like so there's a hotel, and it's underneath a hotel, and the hotel owns this little mall of shops, like a little like independent thing, and it's never facing the sun, so it's always near like a dark, cold sort of alleyway, indoor sort of mall. It's hard to explain.
Is it south facing?
No, it would be facing. It's east-west, but the buildings are so high that it just gets no sun.
Yeah.
So you just get a cold draft coming down that alleyway all the time. So even on a hot day, the shop's freezing, to be honest.
Oh, is it really cold?
It is. I just wear a jumper. We got heaters and stuff. It's fine.
Do you know what? I never think, and I don't know. Oh, the Duck is still awake. I thought he'd dozed off. I always think it's really hard to get a lot of fragrances sometimes to perform quite well when it's really cold.
Yeah. Sometimes they perform. Usually I find you can be surprised. Like some fragrances you don't think will work in cold weather actually work really nicely.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of one. Sometimes. Let me think.
Oh, do you know what? I took Coromandel to Finland, and that worked surprisingly well.
Yeah. Coromandel probably went nice. What time? It was obviously cold in Finland, snowy and stuff.
It was the coldest it got down to was -26.
Yeah.
And
I
was walking.
Here we go.
So there was one day where I was just like, I'm just going to go into town and just do my own thing and have a little explore. So I walked into town and I had this like kind of like a baby romper, an all-in-one, I suppose you'd call it. You know, the one where like literally you've just got your feet sticking out and then you obviously your hands. And it was so cold, but because you got so many like base layers on and warmer layers, like it's okay, you don't feel it. So it was the first day, and I always like to get ready on a morning. So like obviously have a wash, have a shower, you know, all that stuff, and then put my makeup on. So I was there and I was walking into town, and I thought, oh, you know, because I've got obviously really dark hair and I've got really pale skin. So I just thought, maybe just like, I noticed some people were like staring at me, and I just thought maybe it's just because, you know, I don't, I look a bit different, I suppose. So I was just there bumbling along, and then the looks were starting to get a bit stranger, and I was like, okay, I don't know what's going on. I don't have a bag, I don't have a mirror. It's just, you know, I thought I would look quite nice when I'd left the hotel suite, you know. And as I get into town, I go into a shop because there's like a shopping centre. And the town itself's called Romanivy, and I didn't realise it's actually, this is a bit of a geographical fact. It's the biggest town in the European continent, and I think that's just generally like in terms of like area, not so much the population. Anyway, so I was there and I was in this shop, and I thought, oh, I'm just gonna, you know, have a look at some of the clothes and what they're selling and stuff, and get some souvenirs. And I caught myself in the mirror, and what had happened was, because it was so cold, because it was like in -20s, my eyelashes, I had false eyelashes on, and they'd come off my face and they were stuck on my cheeks. And there I was thinking I was some kind of like, oh, I'm getting a few looks walking around town. It's because I look like an absolute mess, and I look like Chewbacca, and people just thought, oh my god, the Yeti's come out.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So whenever you're in cold temperatures, don't apply anything to your face or your body that can come away, basically.
I know a lady, similar story. She went out wearing makeup, and she went out, and everyone was giving her bad looks. And she come back, she's like, "What? I don't know why everyone kept staring at me wrong." And she looked in the mirror. She hadn't blended her makeup in, so she had like these tribal marks all over her face.
Oh god, that's so funny. Oh god. Doug, are you still awake?
I am still awake, but I am very tired now.
Oh no. To be fair, I'm surprised there's still 38 people viewing. Oh god. They've been very kind to stick with us.
They have.
And we have talked about fragrance here and there as well.
There's been fragrance talk.
We never. Can I talk about isobutylquinoline, please?
No, you cannot. Shut up.
Come on, guys, get out your little samples.
You've got neat dance.
I've actually got samples lined up to talk about, and it's just, yeah.
Did you?
Yes, I promise. I'll send you photos to the group. I had all the best intentions.
Just talking about eyelashes and favelas.
Do you know what? It's because I've not spoken to anyone on my summer holiday, so when I can.
I'm just imagining you, Audrey, like with your eyelashes halfway down your face, just with a hammer smashing favelas in the classroom.
Oh my goodness. I do not do the smashing. I am just the facilitator. Oh, Bobby's here. Let's go. Rich should be a good host. Oh, does Bobby want us to go?
No,
Bobby says
I'm gonna go and go to sleep.
Oh,
I know.
Yeah.
that's what that's what happens when you open your Christmas presents early.
I know. I mean, all your presents are Christmas presents. They don't get opened before Christmas. I can't believe I'm only making a mission to get you to unbox that before spring anyway.
I honestly, I'm not telling any fibs. I promise. I would show you the box, but apparently I'm meant to be filming it tomorrow for Bobby and forever else, all the other 10 people on my YouTube channel.
Oh, really?
So I don't want to spoil the surprise.
The surprise.
It'll be worth the wait. I don't. It probably won't be. I apologise to anyone in advance.
Righty-ho.
Have to run at the post office. Oh, Tara's off. Hope you've had a good summer holiday, Tara. Tara's a teacher too. She's a good teacher. She's not like me on the Daily Mail. Getting locked up in Brazil with eyelashes hanging off my cheeks.
Oh dear. In the favela. While you smash it up with an air horn.
Thanks for allowing us to use your space, Duck.
Thank you for coming in.
Your platform.
That's
what
right.
are you laughing at, Jura? Honestly, I can't say anything sincere.
We have ruined the Duck special moment on being Donny. Just talking about this random crap.
Bobby says I'm fresh as a daisy. I am. I'm not peaked yet. I'll be going until about 2:00 in the morning.
Rich.
What?
Do you reckon this is why Audrey sleeps so much? She just laughs so much. She just puts herself in a coma.
Where's herself out?
Adam's in the background, like some other people in the background just passed out waiting. She just moves on to each person, like draining the energy.
That's right.
Oh, God. Do you know what? FCM415 and Bobby have had a right old laugh tonight. They've had a right old chuckle. And my friend, where's my other friend gone? Suzanne. Because I'm
sucking the energy out of them.
Oh my God. I'm like, in Harry Potter, the Dementors, but I don't suck the life out of people. I suck the laughter out. Marge is like, you still are.
You still laughing?
Margie, not a lot's going on, I'm afraid.
Margie, you haven't missed much. Audrey's just laughed for the last 2 hours.
No, you've laughed too. And the duck did. Oh, my belly hurts now. My abdomen. Ooh.
Abdomen.
I've had a work. We've all had a workout.
I know. I'm sweating. I've got abs.
You said you were going. You said you were going at night.
I've been trying to catch a breath since then. I think I can't actually get to the leave button because I'm shaking from laughing so much for the last hour and a half.
Oh, Bobby's complimenting you, Duck. He's saying, "Ginger man, well done." Ducks.
I'm tired.
Right.
I am going to go now. Thank you very much for coming on. Thank you, everyone in the chat.
It's been wonderful.
I'm
Thanks,
going to
guys.
turn over and go to sleep. Thank you very much, everyone.
The duck's like, Christ, let's just kill it off now. Let's kill it off before it mutates.
Right.
Thank you, everybody.
Good night.
Thank you. God bless. Good night.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Duck. Thanks, everyone.
Cheers. See you later.